Hey everyone, Matt here with Tyke. Today I'm joined again by Emma Campbell, who is one of our UX designers here at Tyke. Previously, we talked about the UX updates to our policies flow, and we're going to continue that conversation here with some of the updates to our keys flow. So, again, without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Emma to explain some of these changes in detail.
Thanks, Matt. Let's jump straight in. First off, I wanted to show you the improvements we've made to the key management table. To display the table, you either need to set your hash keys to false in your Tyke config and Tyke analytics config files, or if you want to remain in hash mode, you can set enable hash keys listing to true in your config file. Now, as you can see, this key management table has a lot more useful information for you. It not only shows you the key ID, but also the key alias if used, any policies that have been applied, the date added, and also the key's expiry. This is all valuable information to help you keep better track of your keys. If you are in hashed key mode, then your key management screen will be displayed like this, where you can search for an exact key. Now let's go ahead and add a new key. We've set up keys in a similar fashion to policies to keep the pattern the same. If you create a key by choosing an API, then it follows the same flow as policies. You can select the API like what we did in policy creation and complete the same actions, only this time they'll create a key. This is a massive improvement, as before you weren't able to set per API limits and quota or add path-based permissions when you were creating a new key. If you want to apply a policy to a key, just toggle to apply a policy. This overlay confirms that you're wanting to apply policies to the key instead of choosing an API, as you cannot combine both. When applying a policy, you can search by policy name, or you can filter by access rights or authentication type. The authentication type automatically locks once you select your first policy, so you can only combine policies with compatible authentication types. We are now grouping all actions within each policy. So with this new layout, you'll have full visibility of your policies and understand the authentication type, the API access rights, as well as which API inherit the global limits and quota, and which have per API limits and quota settings. The rate limiting, throttling, and usage quota set for the API in the policy will also be displayed, although this information can only be edited from within the policy itself. So we can see here that payment processing and account information have a shared rate of 1,000 per 60 seconds, while business banking has its own rate of 2,000 per 60 seconds. Now you might be wondering about setting authentication details such as enforce HMAC, authenticating using a client certificate, adding a username and password for basic authentication, or adding a JSON web token secret to your key. This used to be the first action performed when creating a key by selecting a checkbox, but because we want you to work smarter, after you select the access rights, we'll automatically detect the key's authentication and display the correct fields in a third tab named Authentication. If we detect that the key authentication doesn't require the additional information, then we won't display this tab. Now let's talk about partitioned policies and how you can set the key level overrides. We'll jump back into our access rights and remove our policy. And we'll now apply our partition policy. Because tiered analytics public is partitioned, the key global limits and quota panel is revealed. We can see that the policy is enforcing the usage quota and the access rights, but we are able to set the rate limiting at key level. We can see that currently the policy is inheriting a rate of 1,000 per 60 seconds. But we can change this in the key global panel and create our key. And we can now see that this key has inherited the value set at the key level. If this policy was applied to another key, that key could have a completely separate rate limit than this one. So that concludes our dive into some of the UX changes we've made. Hopefully these will help you to work faster and smarter. We love hearing from you, so if you have any feedback or would be interested in participating in user research or user testing, then flick us an email at ux@tyke.io. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Emma, and thanks everyone for joining. See you again soon.